Trying to get some answers, baby. Now we get real. Yeah, time to get down. Yeah, you're gonna feel good now. Real good. That's what I'm Welcome, everyone. Welcome to, push this button, move that button. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm your host, Global Happiness Specialist. That's right, I said it. Global Happiness Specialist, Inner Peace Practitioner, Oracle, but most importantly, an ongoing student, just like you. Listen, we're all the same. We're more the same than we are different. I just happen to be studying this thing called happiness for 45 years. That's all. When I was younger, you know, when you make a wish and you blow out the candles on your birthday cake, I always wish for the same two things. I wanted to live to my potential, and I wanted to be happy. And I found out that this happiness that I was seeking was more than just a notion. And so I've devoted most of my life to studying and to researching. And I had the question, is it possible to maintain and sustain happiness regardless of what happens? The answer is yes. And guess what? The good news is it's a practice. It's a practice like any other skill, from being a master chef to a landscaper, painter, athlete. It's just a practice skill. And it comes down to, what does the person in the mirror value more than anything else? You know, I hear the program responses, oh, health is wealth. Well, what if you don't have your health? And what if one day you won't have your health? Are you telling me that your happiness is going to just fly out the window? That's when I say it's a practice skill and anyone can practice. But let me just do a little bit of introduction, especially to new followers. I get new people all the time. Welcome to my madness. The good news is happiness is a practice skill. Contentment is a practice skill. Inner peace is a practice skill. And my definition of happiness is the ability to vibrate an energy of peace and contentment regardless of what happens. The ability to vibrate an energy of contentment regardless of what happens. That's a practice. And let me just go back a little bit and just say, because some people don't even like using the word happy. They don't like it. For some reason, it triggers some people. Anywho, what I want to focus on, and what I do focus on, and scratch that. What I focus on is eliminating program behaviors. The programming is the problem. The programming is the cause for the mental suffering, the stories, the thoughts that aren't true. And so that's what I do on this small little show. Let me just say that just for another quick housekeeping, I do a show live every Saturday with my son. It's called Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense, plus more. Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense, plus more. It's on my YouTube channel every Saturday morning, live at 9:15 a.m. I was going to say Pacific time, 9:15 a.m. Pacific time on Saturday. And of course, this show, and for the rest of September, every Saturday at 5 p.m. I got to stop yelling at you. 5 p.m. No wonder nobody's listening to the show. I'm yelling at people. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the next 3 Saturdays in September. On my YouTube channel, I'm interviewed. Yesterday was the first installment of series. There's only 4 shows left. 3 shows left. And we're talking about my latest book, which is called, which if you're on YouTube, go to YouTube on my channel, Rebecca Norrington. I'm holding up the book, Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth. This is series 1 of 5. It's on Amazon. And I'm not really a marketer or seller. I'm just letting you know that in this book, I list 55. Actually, it's really 56, but 55 is my number. Born in 1955, 55, 5 is my number. In this book, I list the 55 program behaviors. And so the practice is, when I say happiness is a practice skill, the practice is to one by one eliminate the programming for you to experience more contentment, more peace, more happiness along the journey. My favorite quote from Abraham is, "You cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey." It is about the journey. And the programming is the only reason, I'm going to say is the only reason, scratch that, is one of the only reasons, how's that to get myself out of any kind of sticky situation, is one of the only reasons why we suffer. And me personally, when I say happiness specialist, I'm on this 24/7. I'm doing the research. I'm doing the homework. I'm coming up with answers for you, the answers to the test. You're welcome. When I say happiness is a practice skill, it is a state of mind. It is foundational. Happiness is reverting back to who you were when you were first born. I was talking to this was yesterday on the interview, and it was about children and how before the ego fully forms, and before the programming is set in, have no clue, live in the present moment, and they have no clue about a word that could hurt or offend you. And so it's really getting back to the root cause. And speaking of roots, it's like a weed. So it's pulling up those programmed weeds and eliminating them. And it is a lifelong practice. Let me just share with you some of the questions. This is from the back of the book. Some of the questions, and the first question is, how happy are you? Can other people hurt your feelings? Can other people offend you? Can other people disappoint you? Do you blame other people for how you are feeling? Do you blame your circumstances for how you're feeling? There's nothing wrong with accumulating wealth, titles, celebrity, achievements, accolades, trophies, medals, likes, and millions of followers. But it's time to tell the truth. None of the above, without exception, equates or equals to happiness. And again, when I say happiness, it is a personal vibration of contentment. It is a personal energy of peace. It is a personal energy vibration. I said that already. You can feel the calmness in every cell of your body. That's what I'm talking about, because life is going to be life. Life is going to throw a hard ball, curve ball, sliders, sinkers, fastball. That's what happens. But how do you respond to life is really the key. And there's a difference between reacting to life and responding. And reacting is a program. Anytime it's an instant thought, instant feel, instant emotion, instant, like when you're triggered, instant, that is a program. That if you really are committed and you prioritize this thing called happiness, which, by the way, before I get on with today's topic, which is pigeons and preferences. What kind of crazy ass topic is that? I can't wait to share. Pigeons and preferences. Woo! But before I go on, there's a study, and it's called The Five Most Common Regrets of the Dying. The five most common regrets of the dying. And it was a study done by a hospice nurse, and she asked her patients who had a limited amount of time to live, months, days, weeks. And she asked them what are their five biggest regrets. And the top five kept coming back over and over and over again. So Bronnie Ware wrote a book about it. The five most common regrets of the dying. Number one, I wish I would have pursued my dreams and aspirations and not the life others expected of me. Number two, shout out to all my workaholics. I wish I didn't work so hard. Number three, I wish I had the courage to express my feelings and speak my mind. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings and speak my mind. Number four, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. Well, sometimes we outgrow people, and that's a fact. Nothing wrong with them, nothing wrong with you, nothing wrong with me. It's just a season. Some people are in our life for a season, even if the season is 50 years and then they're gone. It's a season. And the fifth most common regret of the dying is, you got it, you guessed it, I wish I would have been happier. Whoo-wee. Come on now. Getting to the end of this life, getting to the end of the road, getting to the end of the journey, and I wish I would have been happier. Are you kidding? That's not going to happen. Again, if you want to call in and speak with me live, the number is, here we go. The number is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. And if you are on the app Noom Vibe, you know what to do. Just ask to join the stage. Welcome all. I love conversation, challenges. You're wrong, Rebecca. I love all of it. And if you have a different perspective, happiness isn't very important, is it? In fact, what was I reading? Oh, it was a post on Instagram, and it was funny. It meant to be funny, and the woman was saying, "Oh no, I don't care about the world and its problems. I'm just concerned with my personal vibration, getting to a higher consciousness level. Oh, and looking for the fifth dimension," something like that. In other words, this woman was a hippie and she was cool with it. And there were a lot of mean comments behind that all the juice is in the comment section. And if you really, when I find myself really wanting a laugh, and by the way, just backing up a little bit, put this on your to-do list every single day. I know we all have to-do list, and I have one. Well, I have more than one. I have three. Okay, here we go. Three things that I focus on all day long on my to-do list. On my to-do list, there are three things. Number one, practice living in the present moment. Number two, laugh every day. And when I say laugh, I mean bowl over, roll over, belly laugh, pee in your pants laugh, that kind of laughing. Number three, oh crap, what was my number? Present moment, laugh every day. Oh, practice not attaching a story. Practice not attaching a story to any of your emotions, any of your feelings, any of the circumstances to come up with a reason why. Practice detaching, letting go of the stories. Who is authoring the stories anyway? And that's really huge. The stories aren't true. The thoughts aren't true. In fact, who is the author of those thoughts and stories in the head? Who is coming up? Who is the entity that is creating these stories and thoughts. And all day long, how do you know what a story is? How do you know? If it's longer than 3 words put together, it's a story. If it's longer than I love you, it's a story. And it's a mindful practice that will continue forever, because as far as I'm concerned, I got an ego and it's not dead. It keeps living. It keeps kicking and screaming. It wants attention. It wants me to align with it. It wants me to identify with it. This Rebecca Norrington identity, that's not who I really am. So either I'm identifying with my spiritual side or my human side. I've said it forever. Which one do you think is going to offer more contentment and peace? Let's get to today's topic. Thank you for your patience. Again, if you want to speak with me live, the number is area code 646-564-9619. Press the number 1, and then you'll be connected instantly to the studio, and I will bring you on stage. And if you are interested in coming and meeting me on the stage on Noom Vibe, come on down. Come on now. I'm really nice when I'm sleeping. Okay, back to the show. Today's topic: pigeons and preferences. One of the program behaviors that definitely subtracts from happiness. And when I say I have 55, they're divided into 3 levels. I can say the level 1 is for beginners. The beginners on this journey, seeking, looking, searching for this thing called contentment, happiness. That's the beginners. Level 2 is for intermediate people that have been on the journey, people that understand level 1, the beginning level, and now they're ready to graduate to level 2. Level 3 are for my scholars. No. Level 3 is just information for those who have been studying, are really into the spirit, are really on the spiritual tip, and just and have a I don't want to say that, a conscious level of understanding and awareness. If I started talking or sharing this with a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old, they wouldn't understand anything I'm saying. So there is a point, but there is a point in their life where they are going to be able to understand. And so sometimes it's just not time for people to get it. That's it. Regardless, it's not personal. It's just the timing. It's just not time. And in fact, that's calming right there. I spent a lot of my time, a lot of my life reaching out to people. I knew what was wrong with them. I'm going to save the world. I'll save you. No. Nobody needs saving. Nobody needs anything. Everybody, whatever you have in this moment. In fact, this was a question yesterday. Where is that question? Of course, I can't find it right now. The question is, what was the question? The question was, how do you know? Let me just rack my brains. How do you know that you have everything that you need? I don't even know if that's the real question, but it's like the real question. How do you know that you have everything that you need in all moments? Because you have it. If you don't have it, if something hasn't popped up if something hasn't manifested, let's say that, then you don't need it. You know how long I've been asking for a producer and an assistant and for years. And I've had a few people, but nobody's stuck. So apparently the universe is telling me, you need just do this yourself. Thanks, universe. Thanks for nothing. Anyway, I digress. Let's get to the topic. My neighbor one of my neighbors, let's say that, one of my neighbors sits outside every morning and enjoys the sunrise, enjoys the early morning weather. That early morning air has a different smell about it. So enjoys the early morning air, sits out and just reads the paper. It's their chill time. And sometimes I go over and sit and chat, and sometimes I don't. Usually, maybe once every few months. Anyway, I digress again. But when I do go over there, the last time I was visiting, he had a slingshot. I hope my neighbor's not listening. He's not listening. And I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say to his face. So let me just get off of that. Yeah, I don't say anything to people about people that I wouldn't say to their face. And that is the truth. Okay, so oops, what's that? Oh, so I was visiting and he has a slingshot. And outside the backyard is a putting green. It's a lot of people, a lot of animals, birds, a lot of pigeons. And we have geese, we have doves, partridges, roadrunners, hummingbirds. What else? All different types of birds. I've seen at least 10 just, in the backyard, just living their life. Living their bird life, living their best bird life. Whew. And my neighbor picks up his slingshot to shoot at the pigeons. He shoots at the pigeons. Why? He doesn't like pigeons. Now, I get it. I mean, aesthetically, the colors, a little dull. They're nasty. They crap everywhere. They poop. They crap. I think poop and crapping is the same thing. They poop and they crap at the same time. They're nasty. They walk. Their heads. If you're looking at me on YouTube, I'm actually doing a pigeon imitation. Well, not the whole thing, because they walk, and when they walk, their necks go front and back, forward and back, forward and back. Well, I've never done a pigeon impression ever. Anyway, he shoots at the pigeons, and he prides himself at shooting at pigeons. It's the pigeons that he doesn't like. And I'm going to use that analogy for people that, let's say this, people that, now I'm not going to talk about you. Let me talk about me. People that I know, you hear this? I know are not compatible with this Rebecca Norrington. People that are just not compatible. Nothing wrong with them. It's just not. They're just not compatible with my energy. So here we go. When you, scratch that. Since being on this path, since being on this journey for 45 years plus, what I've learned is it's easy to accept. It's easy not to judge people that are like-minded, people that have the same ideas, the same core values, people that have the same political side. You know what I'm talking about. And then there's those other people, those people. I used to have a thing about people that were cheap. Oh, they're not givers, they're takers. All of these stories. I'm sharing the inside stories in my own head about people. But when you really get down to the truth and what is important, and this is for me, the valuing contentment trumps everything else. the value in prioritizing happiness and contentment trumping everything. So let me get back to the pigeons and preferences. All preferences, including preferences of weather, preferences of weight, WEIGHT, you know how much you weigh. In fact, at this point in my life, this is the most I've ever weighed. I didn't even weigh this much when I was pregnant. So this is, I mean, I'm as chunky and as fluffy as possible, and it looks like it's not stopping. And of course, the reason is after the hip replacement surgery in May, I just haven't gotten back to my exercise routine. I haven't been teaching classes. I mean, I teach foam roller classes, but I haven't been teaching any cardio classes. I haven't done any cardio since May. And of course, the eating, because the losing weight is 90% diet. So I've just been having a great time. In the past, when I had gained a lot of weight, so this whole story, here we go. This whole story of this is a preferring a weight. And that was all of my life. I prefer to be 100, and I remember I prefer to be 115 pounds. And then the preference, I prefer to be 125 or 130. Then there was 140, meaning that it's just with age, sometimes a little weight just is needed. That's just my own, that's my own thing. And just the whole programming of what you're eating. Oh, I know this is junk food. It is more what I believe about the food. The mind is so powerful. It is more about what I believe than what is actually happening. You follow me? It's more, the mind is so powerful that people have been known to get surgeries without any kind of anesthesia because of the mind. Anyway, so back to the preferences. Having preferences with regards to people. They're on this journey, especially the last few years, maybe since 2016, 17, 18, 20, yes, since 2016, 17, this divide in this country based on who you politically support is real. It's a real thing. And I'm going to say it was a real thing with me. Get to the point where it was interfering with my happiness. There comes a time when I had to choose a political side or contentment. And one of the practices is not to pay attention to anything that I have no control over. Focus, attention, energy on anything I don't have control over. Back to the pigeons. Is it possible for you, my dear audience, to switch, shift, change what you thought about a person that you despised, hated, not compatible with? Is it possible for you to shift to acceptance? Is it possible to get out of this small box that the ego puts me in? Again, and the number to call in is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. Press the number 1. And that is what's been happening for the last 5 years, I would say. A softening. I'm going to call it a softening of judgments, a softening of rigidity, and allowing and being open to accepting something that I never would have accepted a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. It's like having an epiphany. Wow, all of that. I've been carrying around that extra bag, that extra suitcase for decades. And now you're telling me I don't need it? I don't need that suitcase. That's what I'm sharing here today. Two things. Is it possible for me to look at a pigeon, or the neighbor to look at a pigeon and find beauty? Is it possible to treat the pigeons like you treat all of the other birds? Is it possible to embrace, love, accept, and and support, grace the pigeon, even with its nastiness? That's what God does. The sun shines on the serial killer and the Pope. And the practice is being a human example of the universe. The practice is becoming a human example, walking, talking. I don't know if the universe has curly hair that needs to get the roots dyed. If you're watching me on YouTube, I'm pulling my hair so you can see the roots. Yeah, definitely I need to have my roots dyed again. I was going to go gray, stop dyeing the hair, and then a couple of inches came out and I said, nope, change my mind. And that's another thing. Changing your mind is okay. In the moment, you might not be inspired. In the moment, something else might grab your attention. So it is really practicing being open at all times, and also letting go of this notion that I understand or I know something. Not knowing and accepting that I don't know, I don't comprehend, I don't get it, doesn't make sense. But my ego has a lot of stories that supposedly make sense. You follow me? It's really about being okay with not understanding, being okay with and the only way that this works is practicing trust, blind trust. Talk about wants and desires. I have no wants and desires other than what the universe wants and desires for me. I've given that up. What am I doing making a list of goals and it's different than what the universe has planned for me? What a waste of brain cells. So I'm just doing it the easy way. Show me the way, universe. And you can use the term universe, God, source, higher power, whatever term you want to use. Show me the way, universe. Your goals, your wants, your desires are mine. I'm just jumping on your train. There's less to do. But the practice is trust. And I mean trust to the point where your hands are off the steering wheel. You're sitting in the passenger seat. The universe is driving. Your hands are behind your head. You're relaxed and you're enjoying the ride regardless of what it brings, regardless of the scenery, regardless of those moments that the ego says are unwanted. The ego has a lot of unwanted moments, unwanted circumstances, this shouldn't be happening, unwanted. And I'm here to share that there is a divine plan. I was questioned a couple of weeks ago, what does divine mean? There is a divine plan. I can't explain it. But everything out in nature is in order. Everything is part of a plan. Or not. And, shout out to my atheist audience too. I accept you also. And in fact, people that do not believe in a higher power or a God or any of that, This book, Program for Unhappiness, is for you too. Because I don't spend a lot of time. It's not about the beliefs, what you believe. It's about the behavior. It's about eliminating program behaviors, and you don't need to believe in anything to do that, to get results. Let me, for a moment. Okay, I'm just opening up the book just to a random page, page number 48. Truth. Without exception, your inner peace, contentment, and happiness do not depend on external circumstances. The program you've been taught, the storms, this is called the storms of our lives. Da 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 da, beep 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 beep. One of these days, I'll get a soundtrack, and a sound person, and a production person, and a director, and a producer, but it's not today. The storms of our lives. The program you've been taught to believe is that when life feels good, life is good. And that's when I talk about the preferences. Oh, this feels good, so life is good. How about being okay when it doesn't feel good? What? Blasphemy. Being okay when it doesn't feel good? No, I got to do some. I got to start chanting. I got to start meditating. Where are my mantras? Help. No, I don't want to feel like this. Turmoil, stuck, whatever you want, however you want to describe it. I don't want to feel like this. No. And I'm here to tell you, embrace all feelings. Embrace all the feelings, embrace all the emotions. And the practice is practice not labeling your emotions. What? Just practice feeling. I'm feeling without labels. I'm experiencing without judgment. How long is this feeling? How long is this uncomfortable, unwanted feeling going to last? Answer, it doesn't matter. I'm accepting the feeling, however it lasts, without a story. I'm human, and the human side of me is going to feel a lot of different things. But know this, that whatever you're feeling, whatever I'm feeling, has nothing to do with the circumstances themselves. It's just time to feel this way or that way. It's just time. It's just time for that feeling, just like it's time for a season, just like it's time for fall. Time for spring. The birds start springing. The birds start mating. The birds start living in Oregon. The seasons were everything. Everything happened according to the season. And that's what I'm sharing with you, that whatever you're feeling, it's just because of a season you're going through. The storms of life, the storms of our lives. Another program we've all been succumbed to believe is that when life feels like a baseball bat to the back of the head, then life sucks. So let's dive a little deeper. Is it possible to be happy and peaceful during a crisis? The answer is always yes. The storms we experience are often characterized by critical and anxious thoughts and stories that consume and threaten our well-being. Giving power and focus to doom and gloom stories feels like and fuels feeds the ego. When faced with the crisis, the ego's nature is to never, and I mean never, give up with why? No, the resistance. The ego lives in a constant, chronic state of discontentment. That's just describing it. No judgment. The stories that play in my head are on an endless loop. But the thing is, the practice is, when those unwanted moments, when those unwanted feelings, when all of that comes up, number one is total acceptance. Number two, it doesn't matter I tell my ego, it doesn't matter how long this lasts. I can get through it. I'm 68. I can get through it. I just got through 2 weeks of torturing pain because of this this surgery. Did I say that out loud? Because I usually never say anything. But yeah, 2 weeks. I've never been in pain for 2 weeks in my life. And I remember crying to the universe and saying, when is this going to be over? And then you know what the universe told me? Those mother blankety blanks. They said, transcend the pain. Huh? Transcend the pain? How do I do that? Can you got any instructions that I can follow? Because this shit isn't working. Transcend the pain. Well, the truth is, I wasn't able to transcend the pain. I didn't know how, but I got a lot of practice. The point is, back to the pigeons, back to the preferences. I'm bringing this to your attention. It is part of the level 3 practice. Not even preferring the weather, not even preferring zero preferences. People, the weather, bank account numbers, titles, likes, viewers, listeners, unwanted moments. How about switching the perspective and saying that all moments, oh gosh, I don't even want to tell you this. Oh, it hurts me to even share this. All moments are wanted. All moments are accepted. All moments bring with it some opportunity for transcending. All moments bring some opportunity to get to another level of consciousness and awareness. So all moments are welcome. Thanks. This is not an easy study. This is not an easy path. This is not an easy journey, especially when the ego is always fighting, is always struggling, is always trying to take me down another path of programming. Let me share with you before in fact, if you want to join the show on Noon Vibe, just ask to join the stage. And the number to call in is area code 646-564-9619. Again, area code 646-564-9619. The show is going to be ending in a few minutes. You better come up now. You know when I'm gone, I'm gone. Until next week. Let's see. Hold on. I'm looking for my list. And here it is. I'm going to share with you some level 3 programs that subtract from your contentment and your happiness. Level 3, not level 1, not level 2. And this also ties into pigeons and preferences and, ragging on the pigeons. And then I thought about the mice or the rats. Same thing. The animals that are ugly and nasty looking, the ones that I don't want to pick up or cut and cuddle. But if you really want to get to another level of more contentment, I mean, it just keeps adding up. It just keeps compounding like interest. It just keeps adding up. The contentment, it just keeps piling on and piling on. And then you get to a place of, I'm good. Thank you for all of it, for all of the feelings, for all of the discomfort, for all of the resistance. Everything serves a purpose. Back to the level 3. Thinking anything is serious, thinking anything is important. And it is an energy. This is serious. I'm going to throw this out only because This example, everybody understands it. So the human trafficking, which is a big topic today, a serious problem, and there are a lot of people involved with a solution to that. How do I say this? Oh, but being involved, doing what you can do to support the victims, to whatever way you want to assist in that global issue of human trafficking. You can do it without that energy of, this is a serious problem. This is really important. And I get it. The human, yeah, this is serious. People being enslaved. Yes, I understand. But you can still do the work. You can still assist. You can still contribute without that energy of, this is serious. You follow me? Because that energy, this is serious, conflicts with that energy of contentment. Another level 3, program behavior. Look at that. Having preferences. No preferences to weight, no preferences to anything, to the weather. And of course, I get the pushback. What about food? Okay, preference. Okay, you can choose broccoli over Brussels sprouts. Okay, that's it. And also, let's keep all of this light. Can we please just lighten up with all of this? Can we lighten up with life? I listened to Bashar, who's a gentleman that channels the entity Bashar. His name is David Anka, and he channels Bashar. And put your seatbelt on this. I had to put my seatbelt on. Well, I was blindsided, so I didn't have a seatbelt. So I was knocked right off. I was knocked right into the dashboard when Bashar said this. It's meaningless. All of this shit is meaningless. You're here, blink of an eye, you're gone, back home. All of it, not serious. But don't tell your ego that, because your ego is going to want is telling you how serious it all is and how important it all is. And it wants and it needs to be fed and it needs to be believed. Resisting the present moment. We talked about it earlier. It's whatever falls on the path. Okay. Acceptance, thank you, keep it moving. How do I tackle this? How do I respond? Simple. It's practice. Reacting rather than responding, and I say real emergencies excluded. Rigidity, being closed mind to new beliefs, behaviors, and ideas. When is the last time you changed your mind and had a different belief that you've held on to for years? And that's what I'm talking about here. When is the last time you've changed a belief that was so deep and you just pull it out? Don't need that anymore because it's not true. And not only it's not true, it's not serving me. But how about this for a story? You see how that was a story, how it's not serving me? How about this? If I was whatever I'm experiencing is serving me in some way, whether my ego wants to believe it or not, whatever I experience is serving me in some kind of way. And if that's true for me, guess what? It's true for you too. Well, I've never whispered before on a live. It's true for you too. Having regrets. I didn't even know I could whisper. Yes, I can whisper. I don't have to be this loud all the time. No wonder I don't have any friends. I run people away from me. I'm always yelling at people. Having regrets. Here's another one. Level 3. Believing life is unjust and unfair. Oh. Believing the illusion that you're wasting time. Death is loss. Believing that death is a loss. Death is change. The program says that death is loss. That's why all the grief, the cards, the sympathy cards in the gift shops. Sorry for your. They say the same things. Sorry for your loss. R.I.P. Sympathy. They say the same thing. But what about believing, thinking, changing, shifting your perspective to say that death doesn't equal loss. Death just equals change. How about that? The belief that we are separate individuals having a human experience. This is a tough one. To sit up here and think that, yes, I'm the pigeon too. Oh, hello. Welcome, YouTuber. Welcome. To yes, and you're free to feel free to ask any question. What was I saying? Oh, to believe and to know and to trust that I'm the pigeon too, that I'm every single person that I meet, that we are the same, that we are not separate. It's not it's not that easy to practice. Now, let me share with you before I go. Let me share with you. And again, if you want, because I'm about to leave. Now, if you want me to stay, just ask some questions. I can only talk for so long. Actually, I can talk for a long time, especially about this topic. Only about this topic. Let's see. Non-program behaviors that add to inner peace, contentment, and happiness. Non-program behavior. So the first part of the behavior, the first part of the practice, not behavior, the first part of the practice is to gradually eliminate behaviors that have been proven to subtract from inner peace, contentment, and happiness, while practicing patience with yourself. The programming is to be impatient, and I'm here to say, practice patience with yourself. And when you practice patience with yourself, you can be patient with other people too. So the program behaviors subtract from happiness, but the second part of the practice is to have a persistent fervor that cultivates and establishes proven behaviors that indisputably add to contentment. And they are choosing peace in all moments. You are either choosing what was I going to say? I'm reading chat and talking at the same time, which I can't do because I get distracted. Practicing acceptance. Oh, choosing peace in all moments. So you are either practicing you are either choosing drama or peace in any moment. Being okay with uncertainty, practicing trust, letting go, releasing people, places that don't serve you, choosing your perspective, choosing your focus, staying out of everybody's business. You know, that one thing about being in someone else's business and noticing what other people are doing, if you just stop noticing what your neighbor was doing, like I noticed that my neighbor's shooting pigeons with a slingshot, but I'm sitting right there. So I'm sitting right there. I'm having a conversation and he's shooting those pigeons. Poor pigeons. Aw. And staying out of everybody's business, witnessing more, identifying less. So when those thoughts and those stories come and they do say, oh, there's a preference or dislike of the pigeon, practice observing and witnessing. Practice observing and witnessing those thoughts and stories as opposed to identifying with them. Remain open to a variety of possibilities and experiences, and no preferences of outcomes. What? No preference of any outcome, no attachments, and no preferences. And then know the truth about who you are. You're a physical extension. You are a physical extension of the universe. Having a human experience. That's it. No more, no less. And all this other stuff is noise. Okay. Yes, I will. Please accept my LinkedIn connection. Okay. I will do that as soon as I get off the show, which is coming up right about now. And unless I have people on Noon Vibe, no one wants to come on stage. Come on. I'm not going to hurt you. I'll be nice. I'm cool. Come on. I can only beg for so long. I didn't even know that I could beg. Begging wasn't one of my strong points. It really wasn't. But I know how to do it now. Sometimes it's necessary. And I'm proud that I've gotten to the point, zero pride. All pride subtracts from happiness. Pride subtracts zero. Practice eliminating all of it. Well, that's the end of today's show. Thank you for listening. Reality Spirituality Radio is heard every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, every Saturday at 9:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on my YouTube channel. My son and I do a live show. It's called Mother and Son Making Sense Out of Nonsense, plus more. Next week is going to be our 40th episode. It's live 9:15 every Saturday morning, Pacific Standard Time. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RL Norrington. LinkedIn, I'm LinkedIn, and my Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. When you go on my YouTube channel, like and subscribe if you're inspired. YouTube channel, and my first book, Reality Spirituality, was self-published in 2014. And my latest book, published this year in May, I highly recommend it. It's called Programmed for Unhappiness. Programmed for Unhappiness. And in this book, I list 55 program behaviors that have been proven to subtract from your happiness. And all you need to do is maybe eliminate. If you eliminate one or two, you're going to be happier. Can you imagine getting to 55? But one or two is going to even make a difference. Even just one is going to make a difference. That's a promise. Okay, so that book is out. It's on Amazon. And until next week, my dear audience, I want you to remember who the hell you are. You're a physical extension of the universe. Your conscious energy, which is always evolving, always changing, and always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. It is about the journey. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, global happiness specialist, Rebecca L. Norrington. Remember, happiness is a practice skill. And I promise you, the more you practice, the more peace you're going to find. And the more peace you find, the more contentment you will feel. And your experience in every moment reflects on what you practice. Have a conscious week. Thank you for listening. Okay, let's see. We do this, we click on this, we click on that. Get some answers, baby. Some